Alrighty folks, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena Draft video. Let's fire off some more Zendikar Rising Premier Drafts, and yeah, rank up. Lost a bit of my ranking, as you guys can see. I lost a bit of gems in some of my rankings, but that's alright. At my ranking, there's a lot of pretty high-level players and drafters, so I wouldn't be surprised if I go 1 and 3, even if I draft the most powerful deck I can in the pod. Alright, then pack 1, pick 1, Zendikar Rising Premier Draft. What do you have the fine pleasure of opening? Okay, there's the Archpriest of Iona. Pretty decent if you can get the full party going, and even then it's just a 1-mana creature that can grow over time. It's also Cleric, so it can be pretty solid. We have some pretty excellent uncommons too. Sign of the Swarm, Spoils Adventure, all great in their respective archetypes. This is obviously going to be at its best in the black-white life gain deck. Spoils is powerful in the blue-white adventure deck. Look at the comments if we want to stay flexible. There's a Feed the Swarm and the Bubble Snare as solid removal spells. Honestly, I think the upper row has a lot more upside than staying flexible. I can maybe take the Archpriest and end up in some sort of white party deck, and this can be quite powerful. Obviously, getting a full party is not the easiest, but even then, I guess this is going to become like a 1-mana 3/2 or 1-mana 4/2. So I could just try this out. Alternatively, yeah, I would probably pick a more flexible option like Feed the Swarm, just to stay open if Archpriest wasn't in this pack. But yeah, we'll see. Keep our options open. I haven't tried this card out yet, but it does seem kind of fun, so hopefully we can build some sort of white party deck. And first picking Archpriest, we can follow up with like an Attended Healer. Although this is going to be at its best in a white-black life gain deck. It's not going to be at its best in some sort of white party deck. Alternatively, I could take the Soaring Thought Thief and then maybe pivot into some sort of blue-black rogues deck instead, or take it into the Royal, since white-blue party is kind of where the whole white party theme is at. So lots of options. I mean, if we want to stick with our color, we could just take the Attended Healer now. And I mean, this is still like a priest, a cleric, I mean, that can trigger cleric synergies. And if we do end up in white-black, we can have a bit of a party sub-theme, which I wouldn't mind. Overall, it's still pretty early in the packs, so not sure which archetype we're supposed to be leaning towards, rogue or white-black life gain, but anything can happen. So I'll just gamble on the Archpriest, Attended Healer, and see where we end up. Okay, any life gain cards here? No, there's a Shao Stinger if we would have taken the Rogue, the blue-black Rogue card. Farsight Adept can maybe enable some party synergies. There's the Practice Tactics, which is also a nice party payoff card, so lots of options. So it's between these two, which one do we want? Overall, both of them still wants us to be in some sort of party-focused deck, and in this scenario, maybe we can just take a Farsight Adept to fill out some of our party, and hopefully we can get the Practice Tactics later. Like, we could still be in white-black life gain with party, and then the Farsight Adept isn't bad, or we can still end up in white-blue party with some cleric synergy, and this also isn't bad, since wizards are kind of difficult to find in the party decks. So try out the Farsight Adept to see where we end up. And Shepherd of Heroes is excellent, although there's an Expedition Healer and a Rabbit Bite still late in the pack. Typically speaking, I'm not a big fan of the white-green party thing, since white-green is mostly a landfall archetype. I also think Paratactician is best in some sort of Warriors deck, whereas the Expedition Healer and the Shepherd of Heroes kind of fit in the same category that we're trying to go for. And in this case, do we want a 2-drop or the 5-drop? Yeah, I mean, if we're going to be a party-focused deck, both of these can be nice. If I'm going to be taking this, I'll be more focused on the white-black life gain instead of the party synergies. So I feel like I can just take a Shepherd here, maybe, to focus more on the party theme instead of the white-black life gain theme. Because, again, we could still be in, like, white and another white party deck with the Attended Healer still, so I don't need to go all in white-black, whereas if I take the Shepherd, it still keeps my options open. Here I could just take a Cliffhaven Sellsword as a warrior for the deck. Alternatively, some fine black cards, Malachir Rebirth, Subtle Strike can be decent. There's a Lake Canby Baloth for the landfall deck, but I could use a warrior here. So probably just take the 2-drop warrior, move on, stick with white. And the late Nahiri's Binding, good sign. Also late Bubble Snare. I think, no, this wasn't in our first pack, no, so Yeah, I think it's just a Nahiri's Binding, a fine removal spell. And then here we could just take maybe a Turn Timber Aesthetic if we do end up in a party white-green party deck, which is definitely possible. Although I'd rather just have cheaper clerics in white, so this pack doesn't look too good. Maybe take a Salundi Vision in case we end up in blue with a lot of instances of sorceries, but we'll see. And here also not very amazing. Late Low Mage's Familiar. Could take a random Dauntless Unity, but it doesn't seem amazing. Guess we could end up in some sort of white-red party deck, and there might be some sort of warrior on turn 4. Although generally speaking, there's enough warriors in red already, so you don't need it on turn 4. Maybe just take a random Glacial Grasp in case we end up in white-blue somehow. And yeah, Spoils of Adventure pretty late, so I guess we're going to be in white-blue party. Yep, seems pretty fun, and happy that I picked up the Archpriest pack 1 pick 1 to enable it, and yeah, could actually just end up playing this Glacial Grasp and Salundi Vision if I have to. Here, guess we could still end up in white-black clerics. The Liberate is kind of replaceable, so. And I can just take a cleric of the Chill Depths in case I need some sort of random 2-drop cleric in the party deck, so we'll see. Even though Archpriest is a cleric, Attendant Healer is a cleric already. I think we're going to be in white-blue party from the looks of it, since we were past the late spoils. But again, we'll still see, And white-blue is kind of fun, not going to lie. Alright, Inscription's Insight, not going to say no to this. Alternatively, I wouldn't mind a Skyclave Plunder, which is a powerful card also in the white-blue party deck, since it allows you to look deeper. Also, McKinney Stampede can be a nice modal dual-face land to wheel, since I'm going to look to go wide and beat down in the white-blue party deck. But yeah, Inscription is a bomb. It's going to take double, triple blue to kick this, of course. But even if you're not kicking this, it's still like 4 mana bounce 2, which is a powerful tempo play, and can also serve as a card draw utility engine or a way to generate a creature on turn 4. Seems really strong. So we have how much? We have 1 wizard, 1 warrior, 4 clerics, and no rogues. So rogues definitely need to be a priority. Although now we're just going to take a Journey to Oblivion, since it has great synergy with party and is just a really good removal spell. Alternatively, wouldn't mind either Bayan Veil or Field Research, but Journey has to be the pick here. And could just take a random Kitesail Cleric, just as a random 1-drop cleric we can use for party. Although there's a Stonework Pack Beast, never mind. I think that has a lot more utility than the cleric, since we do have a couple of clerics already, whereas the Pack Beast can be anything. Late Rabbit Bite, same with the Vastwood Surge, but I think we're white-blue party, another excellent party payoff. And Mirror Captain seems great. Also wouldn't mind another Shepherd of Heroes, Stonework Pack Beast, but Seafloor Stalker is also pretty fantastic in the blue-white party decks. But Mirror Captain has to be the pick here, I imagine. And white-blue party is the best 2-color combination for party in white. So I'm glad it managed to pan out. And in here, I wouldn't mind another warrior for the deck. Seagate Banneret looks awesome. Just being able to be utilized as an Anthem effect and a 1-drop warrior we could use. Seems great. Definitely got to pick up some rogues, and maybe the Seafloor Stalker on turn 3 would be amazing in this type of deck. But yeah, the deck is coming along quite nicely. Might not play the Salundi Vision since we have a couple of enchantment-based removals. Whereas this is better than like blue-red, where you're focusing mostly on blue-red instances and sorceries. Whereas we have some enchantment-based removal, and happy to see a late Kabira takedown. Seems like the pick here. Also wouldn't mind Tazim Raptor to bounce back our molded dual-face lands if we pick up more. But generally speaking, we want to focus more on the party synergies more than anything else, since we first picked an Archpriest of Iona. Also wouldn't have mind the Into the Royal over the Attendant Healer. But I mean, we do have some Flying Clerics in this deck. We could also pick up a Core Celebrant on turn 3 maybe, to help leverage the Attendant Healer. And you know, it's still fine in blue-white. It's going to be best in black-white, of course, but you know, blue-white still has some life gain going on, so it seems fine. So mostly 2 Wizards counting the Pack Beast, 4 Warriors counting the Pack Beast, 5 Clerics counting the Pack Beast, and 1 Rogue counting the Pack Beast. So we need to focus on Rogues and Wizards from the looks of it. So we're going to keep an eye on them. Maybe we can pick up some Cascade Seers and Skulkers. And yeah, Core Celebrant looks nice. Although I wouldn't mind a Kavira Outrider too in a deck like this. We do have a bunch of Warriors already, although we have a bunch of Clerics. I think we just have a huge gap at 3 that we need to fill, and then it also has great synergy with the Attended Healer, so seems like the right call. Wouldn't mind the Core Outrider as well. Now another late in the Nahiri's Binding, great. So also a removal is getting better. So kind of like a removal. This is kind of like removal slash card draw. So removal looks really good here. Just need to fill our party for the deck and we should be really good. Yeah, maybe there's a chance we play Relic Axe. Probably not. More like a red-white card. But I highly doubt we're going to play Anti-Cognition since we seem to be more of like a tap-out deck. Okay, Bayin Veil, even wheel. Don't think we're landfalling, so Prowling Feldar is not going to be super great. But Bayin Veil has overall kind of overperformed, just as a mono dual face land, being able to catch the opponent off guard, get some valuable blocks in, get some valuable attacks in, and even can even act as a nice fog effect. So, big fan of the Bayin Veil as a mono dual face land. Guess I'll take the Feldar now. But yeah, it seems like blue's our secondary color, and blue's slightly cut off, but still being past the spoils late after pack 1 is a sign that the blue-white party deck is open from our right-hand side as opposed to the left. Ooh, what's this? Even the late Shepherd of Heroes, no one likes the party deck. Okay, I'll take 2 copies. Especially amazing with the Attended Healer. But we definitely need Rogues and Wizards from the look of this deck. And once we get those Rogues and Wizards, we should be solid. And what do we open? Any Rogues, any Wizards? Into the World looks fantastic, though. Wouldn't mind another fine party payoff like Seagate Colossus, but could use some cheap interaction. Also wouldn't mind a Kabir Outrider, but it has to be the Into the World here. Just as a flexible temple play that can catch the opponent off guard, and then we can just smash and clear them if they're missing their land drops. Like, you get really punished getting into the world if you're missing your land drops or tapping out with a large creature. This card is just very fantastic. Definitely one of the best commons in the set. And yeah, I could use another wizard like Farsight, although there's also Cunning Geyser Mage, which I could consider. Although we're not really going to kick anything. It could just be better giving us the extra card draw from the Farsight. It's still a 3-mana 3/3, to be honest. Overall, I think we need some wizards, although we could use a rogue, like the Zulaport Duelist in this deck. Yeah, we could also use a rogue, because we do have like two wizards already counting the pack beast, but 0 rogues. So I could see the argument actually just taking the Zulaport Duelist here, just to enable party. So yeah, I think it has to be the pick, especially this late. I could just take a random Expedition Healer, or just a Merfolk Wind Robber anyways, just to fill out the party. Definitely not an amazing card, but I could see myself still playing it just to have the 1-drop rogue in the deck, like this. Okay, another Spoils is pretty insane, although there's another Journey to Oblivion. We do have the Inscription of Insight to draw cards already, but we also have Double Nahiri's Binding, Into the World, Kabira Takedown, Glacial Grasp. It's really just between these cards. Generally speaking, I highly doubt we're going to kick the Inscription for 8. So maybe I could just use another Spoils, although another Journey would be great and fantastic too. In a deck like this. Yeah, we just have a bunch of removal spells already. I mean, this deck is going to be pretty unstoppable with double Spoils, so I'll take it here. And then now I can still take another rogue, although we have 2 rogues already. Maybe we just need another wizard now, since we have 2 rogues, so I don't mind the extra Farsight depth. Like, the Surefoot Infiltrator is great, but I don't think we need it. Could take another Core Celebrant, or I can finally take my Kabira Outrider. We have a bunch of 1s, 2s, 3s already. Could use an extra 4-drop to leverage the deck a bit more. So I don't mind just taking this here. And wow, 3 parties. I mean, we're definitely going to die to a mill deck. Maybe I just need a 2-drop here, like the Cliffhaven Kitesail. Maybe 2 of these are enough. Yeah, we'll take a Cliffhaven Sellsword. And then we'll just take as many Farsight Adepts as we can to round out this party. Yeah, triple Spoils is a little bit too much. So now I got punished for not taking that journey from the other pack. But I wouldn't have known. Honestly, I think double spoils is good enough in a deck like this. And yeah, I could see myself playing Seagate, although we have enough flyers already to help close out the game. I'd rather just have the flyers at the top end with this type of deck. Just need to draw a bunch of cards off the spoils, clear a path, deal some damage, and we should be fine. Definitely going to be a 17 lander. I can see cutting 2 lands since these can kind of be our land cards. Although, Kabir Takedown will most likely be a spell. So we do need to make some cuts. Maybe I do need to cut just a Far Side of Depth from this deck. 3 wizards, 6 warriors, 3 rogues, 6 clerics. So I could also consider cutting myself a cleric, although the clerics are really good. Maybe, yeah, I don't mind a 2-drop Expedition Healer. Maybe that I can just cut the Chill Depths and just play the 2-mana 2/2, which is just generally just better. And then do I just cut the Outrider? I could use a decent 4-drop that can pump the team. Maybe just cut a Sellsword. Don't think I need the Tazim Raptor. Just doesn't have synergy in this deck. Alright, this deck is pretty insane. It's just going to be hard building this deck, so we just want to keep everything as even as possible in terms of party. So 3 wizards, 3 rogues seems fine. 6 warriors, 6 clerics. Okay, just gotta look at the curve here. So definitely need the rogues here. The warriors could cut the Sellsword. Take down the Bayin Veil is mostly gonna be a land, so I can cut a land. I could also go maybe to 16 lands since the spoils are gonna get a huge discount anyways. The journey as well. The inscription is probably gonna get kicked, but it's fine. The Hero's Binding seems good. Don't mind the random Kabira Outrider. I think we need the 3-drops. I think we need the 1-drops, 2-drops, and 3-drops in this deck. Could cut the Glacial Grasp. I mean, we do have a lot of removal already. 1 Journey, Inscription, double Nahiri's Binding, into the Royal Kabira Takedown. That we probably don't need a Glacial Grasp. And I think I need my 4s, my 5s, my 3s, and the 2s to help close out the game. In terms of creatures, we have 16, so 16 creatures seem fine. Yeah, let's try this deck out, see how it goes. Maybe in the sideboard we could consider Seagate Colossus, but it's just going to be really chonky at the very least. I think I can win the game maybe with the Flyers overall. And then, yeah, I think I can win the game with the Flyers. Could also just cut the Seagate Banneret. And just throw in the Gate Colossus or not. No, I think we can win the game with the Flyers. We probably don't need the Seagate Colossus. We do have a Merit Captain. And I do want to have as much party members as possible, just to have a really strong deck. Glacial Grass again can be a consideration, but I think we have enough removal, and the removal spells that we have are generally just better. Again, we do have double Far Side Depth Array, so I don't think I need a 3rd one. So yeah, let's try it out and see how it goes. Archpriest seems like the right picture, and our mana base. We do need double blue to kick, but we are favoring white more. Let's see. We do have a Kabira Takedown already, has a white land that we can consider, so it's more like 9/8 more than anything else. So I think we can get away with this or not. I mean, this is going to require... I probably doubt we're going to kick the Inscription. But we do need blue to cast our spoils and into the Royal. But we do have a bunch of white going, so could we get away with maybe... No, I don't think we can get away with this, especially if one of our blue is a tap land. It's not going to be great for us. So I think we just submit and see how it goes. If we draw too many blue sources, I might consider cutting an island and going 9/7. Yeah, maybe that's the right call. Maybe I just have to go 9/7. I highly doubt we're going to kick our inscriptions at all, or into the Royal maybe. Maybe into the Royal is just fine. It's just 2 mana, 1 generic, 1 blue, bouncing something back. And we don't necessarily have to kick it. I mean, either way to compare a takedown can be played as a land, so never mind. Let's just go 9/7. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me. I mean, it probably will. It probably will. Yeah, I probably don't need 8 blue sources from the looks of this. Could go down to 7 blue sources instead. We also have a bunch of 1-drops in this deck too, so... yeah, probably can afford to cut an island, just throw in the plains, and hopefully we can eventually find blue to outvalue and outtempo the opponent. We might have some issues running into a mill deck, since we'll be drawing a lot of cards, so... we do need to kind of close out the game quickly sometimes, but we'll see. Turn 1 Ruin Crab is kind of like the worst nightmare we can run into. But we're definitely going to be quite aggressive in a deck like this. It's about to hit the 2-minute mark, so I'm probably going to find an opponent soon, I'm presuming. Alright, opening hand. Please give me my first 2 colors. Hoping this isn't a draw, and this is just some stupid lag bug that's happening. Okay, I guess someone's lagging. I'll just sit here and see and wait. Maybe the guy is just lagging, so that's generally what happens when they're holding it up. So just wait. Okay, we have both our mana. Okay, Cliffhaven, Core Celebrant, Amiria Captain seems pretty decent. So luckily I got my blue sources here. And hopefully we can just curve out and beat down. We'll see what we draw. If we draw into a 1-drop rogue, I'll be pretty happy. Right, no 1-drop rogue. Well, the priest would have been amazing on turn 1, but I guess I'll sell the Cliffhaven Sellsword. And I'm fine trading this off too, since the Mirror Captain is a warrior anyways, so I don't really care too much about this. Could see a removal spell, sure. And we can take 1. So depending on where or not I get my land drops, I'm going to try to consider where or not I even want to play the Far Side of Death next turn. And if we don't, I mean, I guess the Core Celebrant can be nice following up the Attendant Healer. But I do want to hit my land drop, so I'm going to play the Far Side of Death and go from there. No land drops, okay. So we probably need to take it slow. If he attacks, do I trade? I mean, I could force the pump. I'll be losing out on the wizard for party, so probably not. Reclaim the waste kicked, so seems like some sort of red-green. Alright, he's splashing, so I guess I'll just play the Core Celebrant and then attack with the 3-3. Since the 1-4 can hold this off for the time being. Scythecat can grow, but I do have some Nahiri's Bindings to deal with it. Land is good, so now I can play out the Attendant Healer or a Mirror Captain. I think I'll play the Attendant Healer first to generate some cat value and force him to find some sort of removal trick to deal with this. Fine sending in for 3 and trading. But I'm definitely going to have a lot of life gain in this type of deck with the Core Celebrant and the Attendant Healer and then the Shepherd of Heroes. I could just take 4. Maybe I should have stayed back. He can pump this twice, though. I want him to pump twice. I guess I could just jump, but nah, let's just take 1. If he wants to spend his whole turn pumping, that's fine. Maybe then it's fine to keep the Fireside Death back now. If he plays Phyliff, I'm going to be sad. Okay, no Phyliff. Ooh, it's a Valakut's Awakening, so he can cycle his hand. Pretty interesting. Yeah, let's just play land. Could play the Mirror Captain. Because we do have a Cleric and everything already, so I could just get a full party going. Wizard, Cleric. Just need a Rogue. But yeah, I do want the extra life gain from the Shepherd of Heroes, so I think I'm just going to go for this play. Yeah, this is insane. And hopefully he can't answer my 4-4. But once I get a Rogue out, I should be able to dominate the skies. You could just use the Valakut's Awakening to loot, of course, to find answers to my creatures, but it's a Rabbit Bite, sure. Hopefully he didn't splash like a Mind Rot or anything. Just a random 4-5 I can chump all day. I mean, I have a bunch of removal, so I actually don't mind just taking 5 and a lot of life gains, so I should be in decent shape. So he could have a trick. Do I mind losing a bunch of cats? Not really. I guess I could just chump. Like, it's not a big deal. The cats can allow me to chump all day, so I don't mind. And then, yep, we'll just play out our Shepherd of Heroes, and we can start gaining life as well by giving this lifelink. So there's no way I'm dying at this point, unless the opponent has a large creature that can trample over and kill me. How much time is getting pumped this? Once. So I could just put 2 creatures in front of this and go for the double block. And maybe force him to use the Might of Marasa, his trick now, before anything else bad happens. Yeah, I don't mind him just using this. Gotta get rid of this eventually. Guess I don't mind just using the Cliffhaven Sellsword. And I can also just alpha here. So what I can do now is I can play land, binding the 4-5. And I can just attack with all. And hopefully he doesn't have a way to deal with my healer, because this is a lot of damage, so. Wow. I mean, I guess that's just triggering landfall. That doesn't necessarily do anything else. I mean, he can make a giant 6/5, but who cares? It's tapped. So I'm just going for this strike just to deal a bunch of damage to him. But I highly doubt he can kill me from 23 life at this point. So he probably is forced to stay back, and I can just binding this and alpha strike again next turn. If he wants to hit me for 9, so be it. I have all the life gain in the world, essentially. I can even binding this and give the 3/4 life link if I want to. So yeah, Attendant Healer can be a messed up card, especially in a blue-white party deck with life gain. Okay, that's a strong one. But honestly, I can just lock it down and take 9. And I should be able to seal the game, so... Yep. And I can also give lifelink, so... Almost acquired a full party this game. The last game. Just needed one rogue. But as you can see, it's really powerful if you can get the whole party thing synergies going. Surprised didn't see a single practice tactics in the rest of the other packs. So I got punished for taking the core wizard. Since the tactics would probably be really incredibly amazing in our blue-white Azorius party deck. Opening hand, well, I mean, we just need blue mana. The Stoneworks Pack Beast can fix for us. We're on the play, so it's a decent curve, so I don't mind. We can also maybe assemble the full party once we get something going, and then we can discount our spoils for turn 4. And if we top that blue source for the spoils, that would be amazing. Mirror Captain's also great. So yeah, just need a 4th land, I guess, and hopefully now my party member dies and I can just get going to town. Bloom Hunter, okay. Alright, I'm probably not going to trade the Pack Beast because I need it. So we're just going to attack for 1. Hopefully he doesn't Subtle Strike away the Pack Beast and I can cast a Mirror Captain next turn and get full value. So please no Subtle Strike. Just stays back, okay. Yeah, I'll play the Mirror Captain. You can see the Subtle Strike happening now to shrink my Mirror Captain. Probably has it. I guess he can use it in response to the trigger. Oh, it's a Vanquish instead. Never mind. Yeah, we'll still attack for 1. Ooh, that's a good one. Thundering Spark Mage. Pretty excellent in the party decks. So, alright, blue mana is great. So should I Shepherd here or not? Probably don't need to Shepherd. I think I'm going to Spoils end of turn. just to draw some more action and then get a better Shepherd of Heroes. I could also attack. I can also, yeah, I guess I'll stay back with this Shepherd of the Seagate Banneret because I can also like disincentivize an attack and pump the Seagate Banneret to go for some sort of block. But he's just going to Ravager's Mace here. Okay. So if he attacks with Spark Mage, do I mind pumping? I'll just take 2 for now. And Spoils is just going to give me a lot of action here. So now what? I can play Land, Attendant Healer, and Archpriest. I can also play the Inscription to bounce both back, but it doesn't seem very good. Yeah, let's just play the Archpriest for now. Play out the Attendant Healer and say go. And then I can Shepherd next turn, gaining a bunch of life, making a bunch of cats. And he still needs to find a removal spell for my healer, and if he does, then he needs an answer for my flyer. And hopefully I can get triple blue with the Inscription eventually. Spitfire Lagak, trying to deal some damage over time, sure. Okay, Cliffhaven Sellsword is nice. Although I probably just want to drop the Step Shepherd here. Gain some life so I don't end up dying. And then we can make some cats and then stay back. And there's no board wipe in black besides the exile all 3 costs or less, so I should be okay. Cover removal spell lined up okay. I should be fine still, just need to take out the 2/1 flyer. Bouncing isn't great because he can just kick it again, so might just use the Inscription to draw cards in fact. Yeah, let's just play out the Farside Adept. Hopefully I can assemble a full party eventually, okay. So the chances of a kicked Inscription can be, can maybe fruition. I can also just kick the Spitfire Lagak and go for some sort of attack. I can also attack with the Archpriest and gain life. I mean, this board I don't really want to kick an Inscription, but I could definitely kick the Spitfire Lagak. I could also just kick the bounce the Ravager's Mace eventually, so lots of options. I think we're just going to stay back and kick the into the Royal on the Spitfire Lagak before end of turn to get some value off of it, and maybe set some sort of interesting attack with the Inscription of Insight. This 2/1 bat isn't super threatening. I mean, I'm quite surprised he hasn't played any party members yet. I could have also bounced my Farside Adept back, but I think this is just better. No kicked Inscription yet. Okay, so I could just attack with the 3/3. I guess I can attack and pump the team, so that's quite nice. Yeah, let's go for that. I can also give my Archpriest lifelink too, which is quite nice with the Attendant Healer. Pry has a response. Pretty annoying. I mean, at least I baited it out already, so there goes a Subtle Strike. And he's just a 1/1, so... I don't really want to kick an Inscription, but it's pretty strong. I mean, I guess I can also just bounce back my Farside Adept anyways, so... or I can just play out the Core Celebrant here. I can move to combat. Actually, I shouldn't have played out Land. Yeah, I'll just play out the Farsight. Let's play out the Sellsword too. Let's play out everything. Hopefully I can kick the Inscription and just swarm the opponent out. Mucklord, that's kind of the bottom of the barrel filler card. Quite surprised he's even playing a card like this. Okay, that's also really bad. Sure, I just get rid of a token, like... I guess he wants to grow his Ghastly Gloom Hunter, makes sense. Alright, sure. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. Probably don't need any of these two cards. Like, they're fine, but they're kind of replaceable. Just want to get my spoils. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty much dead. Practice tactics would have made this deck a whole lot better. But it is what it is. Opening hand, okay, we can start with a 1-drop Rogue. Maybe Farsight Depth can draw us into something. I'll try it. At least we have both mana open. I just need to make sure we hit our land drops, of course. And if we don't, we could have some trouble. At least can maybe get turn 3 Journey to Oblivion, and hopefully this 1-drop doesn't get disrupted. Reclaim the Waste, maybe splashing for a 3rd color. Ooh, Kabir Takedown. Unfortunately, I think I need to play that as a land. It's a little bit too greedy not playing it as a land. Merfolk Windrobber, nothing but a party filler, to be honest. I honestly don't care about that much. Okay, could attack, he could use a Subtle Strike, but we'll see. Obviously, we don't want him to draw into the Subtle Strike before damage, so we'll just do it this way. Attendant Healer on turn 4 is quite nice, into Shepherd of Heroes on turn 5, so that's quite insane. Though some decent playables off the top too. Nara Colony unkicked, okay. So 1 green for a Cliffhaven Kitesail to fly over, alright. Alright, I can also Journey to Oblivion the Cliffhaven Kitesail, so I actually don't mind. I don't really care anyway, so we'll just play Attendant Healer, attack with the Farsight Adept, and then next turn we can either deploy the Spoils of Adventure or Shepherd. But Spoils would be pretty insane if we can cast it for 3 and then Journey to Oblivion away the Kitesail. So it can definitely have some insane moments, we'll see. Okay, Scale the Heights. Maybe I just get rid of Gnarled Colony. The land is pretty insane here, so do I Spoils here or do I Journey? If I Spoils and Journey, I can draw a bunch of cards and get away and get in a nice attack. 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's only 6 damage down to 11, so let's take it slow. Let's just play out the Shepherd here. Just make a bunch of cats, and then we'll decide if we want the Alpha next turn. I also don't mind just offering to trade the Farsight Adept here. I'm hoping he doesn't have a Subtle Strike, but he could, so maybe I shouldn't attack. The Subtle Strike would be quite bad if he can, like, put a counter here, minus the 1/1, and also just kill off the 3/3, so I'll take it slow here. Could also have his Thwart the Grave here. Maybe he's here to Rabbit Bite away my Attendant Hero. Alright, so there's 1 instant gone. Do I still take it slow? Yeah, I think I do. I want to surprise him. I guess now I'm fine sending in the Farside Adept and baiting out the Subtle Strike. Because I feel like he has it. Oblivion's Hunger, never mind. Alright, so there was an Oblivion's Hunger. There goes our wizard, so maybe that wasn't the correct thing to do. Getting back. Reclaim the Waste or Gloom Hunter? Probably the Gloom Hunter. Kabir Outrider is quite nice. Alternatively, maybe Cliffhaven Cell Sword into Spoils is probably just better, so we'll try that. And yeah, let's try to get in for 6. Hopefully he doesn't have another stupid trick. I mean, because he just used his whatchamacallit, Oblivion's Hunger already, so I'm fine just swinging in the team. He's gonna kick his Gloom Hunter, so we can maybe get rid of it, or journey away the Kite Sail. Ooh, a Binding. Okay, Binding is pretty much an answer to it. I could also just Into the Royal. I think a Binding is quite nice here. And I can just Journey, I guess, or just bounce the Gnarly Colony. Maybe that's just better. No. Yeah, let's just Journey. The Kite Sail is going to be a problem, so I guess I get rid of the Kite Sail here. And I can attack with the Flyers and then the 3-1. But yeah, the opponent doesn't seem to have a really crazy deck from the looks of it. He has some decent synergies, but it's not crazy like ours. And he's pretty much dead if he can't deal with these 2 Flyers, so I think we're in great shape. Could see a Thwart the Grave, maybe. So glad I Nahiri Binding the Ghastly Gloom Hunter. I guess a Balagate Recovery, maybe fighting off something and gaining some life could be his game plan. Yeah, he's just dead. Blue-White Party should definitely not be underestimated. What's more broken than 1 Spoils of Adventure? Well, 2 of them. But against a mill deck, we could have some issues, I've stated previously, because we're just drawing so many cards that it's actually not that great for us. But against other decks, we can just definitely tempo them out, outvalue them with our card draw spells and our party synergies. That we can just definitely just take over the game. Alright, 2-drop, 1-drop seems decent. I could always just save the Zulapur Duelist and the Bayin Veil. Let me see, do I want to cast this? I mean, it does get me a Rogue out early, but it can be a fine, like, combat trick. Especially against his Cliffhaven Kite Sail. So I could just hold on to it. And see what happens next turn. And also have access to the Kabira Takedown. We're gonna just compare a takedown now with the Zolaport Duelist. Yeah, I probably just need to do it now. Like, the Cliffhaven, the Paratactician is a little bit obnoxious here, so... yeah. I can also just attack first and use Bayin Veil, maybe. Yeah, let's go for an attack. This card can be really annoying, so gotta let this happen, and then the 1/1 can hold off the 3/1. And we might even have access to a turn 4 Spoils of Adventure, which would be amazing. Okay. Champion, so maybe the Bayin Veil can do some work next turn and ambush him. Or I can just play it tapped, probably not. I could also just Farsight Adept and offer the 4/3, maybe that's fine. And then get a cheaper Spoils of Adventure on turn 3. Lots of options. Yeah, maybe find Sing Go, since we can also Farsight into Bayin Veil the turn after and just take 4. War Leader, okay. I mean, if he's going to be using the War Leader, I could use the Veil. Although it's not going to be that great. If I use the Veil, I could double block. I can just trade the 4/2, I guess, which also isn't a bad idea. It just spoils. Yeah, I don't mind just trading this. Don't want to take 1,000,000 damage. No land, that sucks. Guess we can just journey away the 3/3. Or hope I top deck a land with the Farsight Adept. Maybe that's just the right play. Yeah, I'll hope to top deck a land, maybe. I mean, this is kind of like the only option, I think, at this point. I mean, I could also just chump block. But yeah, we didn't get our land drops, so I guess we're forced to play this tapped. And then hopefully we can chump the 5/4 and stay alive that way. But yeah, not hitting her land drops is really bad. I mean, I could still take it here just so I can have some party synergies going on. Probably take 5. Yeah, I'll take 5. It's not the end of the world. I have a lot of life gain in this deck, so as long as I can get some life gain going and stabilize, I should be okay. Fissure Wizard for more party purposes, sure. Definitely don't want the Nahiri's Binding on the 3/3. Alright, so land is fine, so what I can do now is... I guess I don't mind just playing the Core Celebrant or journeying away the 3/3. Maybe I can set up like a Kicked into the Royal and ambush him. But it feels like I should just journey this away and then just play a Farsight Adept maybe. Maybe that's the right choice. Because this needs to go. And I can still put a 3/3 in front of this. So maybe a Kazul's Fury in response. Yep. I guess I can also just into the roll my Journey to Oblivion as well. But maybe this is okay. I can Journey to Oblivion it later. Let's just play another Farsight Adept, and I'm fine trading off the other 2/3. So I can hit my land drops and say go. Ardent Electromancer, okay. Hopefully no removal spells. I mean, I'm fine taking 2, but I'm definitely going to trade her via a Warrior, Scavenge Blade. Okay, I guess I don't mind just putting my 1/1 in front of it and trading at this point. I mean, you could have a removal spell here to clear a path. That's annoying. Guess I'll take 4. I can ambush this blade eventually with the Into the Royal, so we'll see. Okay. Sure. So if I bounce the blade, what happens? This is still going to be a 4-powered creature. So probably fine bouncing the Expedition Champion and then trading. Or I'm bounce the Computer Outrider, but he's just going to bounce it again, so I think this is fine. Stonework Pack Beast looks great. And then might as well just play the Shepherd to be mana efficient here. Journeying away my Shepherd, sure. Still costs 3 to equip, so... Ooh, Seagate Banneret, but we do have a Warrior already. So if I play the Myriad Captain, I guess I can still cast his Spoils for 3, so that's quite nice. Alternatively, I can play the Seagate Banneret and just Spoils that way, but I think it's better to just get a Flyer out while I can. And then I do have access to Spoils for 3 mana, which can help me close out the game. Shepherd of Heroes, we can Nahiri's Binding, so... But I think our party deck is just a lot better. This is like the second Spoils of Adventure, so it's definitely not going to be easy for my opponent to beat me, so... Just play everything out. Eventually I can just kick an Inscription and win that way. Could just attack and pump. Like, it's not a bad idea. How much mana do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 more lands and I can pump twice. So, yeah, I could just attack and pump. Maybe just offer the 3-1, or... Yeah, maybe I just pump once. Or should I? No, let's just get in for 4. And then decide whether or not we want to pump once or twice next turn. Tactician, okay, that's a scary card. I do need to handle this eventually. Kite Sail, that's pretty annoying. But at least I can maybe pump the Mirror Captain twice. So how much lands is this? 4, 5, so I can pump it twice. So I think I go for it here, just so I can pressure the opponent a lot more. I mean, he could always just double block the Seagate Banneret, so I don't really want that concern, but yeah, I think we just go for it here. He doesn't have any amazing blocks. Everything will pretty much result in a trade, and I need to take out this pair Tactician, so... So I guess he's going to try to leverage this game plan, attacking with both the warriors and growing the paratactician, but eventually he needs to stay back on defense because since I can pump twice, I'll just do more damage to him over time, so I'm hoping he offers, and he is, so that's quite nice. He could equip the sword and then equip the Cliffhaven Kite Sail, so just need to deal with this paratactician, I should be alright. Alternatively, I could just offer to trade. Right, just play a Cell Sword, maybe that can start beating down. And then we'll just say go. Keep lands in hand for the Kicked Inscription. And Tenant Healer, that's excellent. Yeah, I think he lost. I mean, this blue-white party deck is just incredibly broken. It's hard to beat double spells of Adventure, especially if you're an aggro deck, and I'm just casting it early and outvaluing you with all the removal, bounce, and so forth. And life gain, too. Opening hand, Seagate Banneret, okay, seems okay. Yeah, hopefully I can top deck some creatures, because if I do Flood with this hand, it's not going to look too good. But we do have a 1-drop and 4 drops, so I'll try it. Opponent's on the play too, so. Alright, at least we can kick it into Royal and get value out of it. So white-red again, Kargan Intimidator, okay. Okay, alright, at least a Merfolk Windrobber. I could just attack here because he can just pump anyways. So there's really no reason for me to consider staying back. Unless I want to 2-for-1 myself. So red-white warriors with a Kargan Intimidator, that's going to be a little bit hard to beat. I could set up turn 4 where I block this, he pumps and I just into the roll and send back. Electromancer, okay. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit rough. In a Stonework Pack Beast, yeah, probably can't afford to attack. Kabir Takedown, though, is pretty amazing. So what can I do? I can maybe block the Kargan Intimidator, and then force him to pump, and then I can Kabir Takedown it, or I can just take down it right now, and stop messing around. Yeah, let's just do it now. Or I can just take down the Ardent Electromancer instead. Nah, the Kargan Intimidator is probably going to be the most scariest, so let's take this out now, and then we'll just maybe stay back. Yeah, the Intimidator is just going to do a lot of work, just making things unable to block, and then like if he has another instant to keep up, it's just going to make combat a mess. If the Pack Beast attacks, I'll just put the Merfolk Wind Robber in front of it. Like, I do lose on a Rogue for party, but I mean, I guess I'll just take 3. Okay. It's not a card I really want to bounce either because it allows him to ramp, but Tazim Raptor, sure. What's this? So he has the Kabir Takedown. That's annoying. I guess I can just bounce both creatures back and set them behind and attack for 1. Because the Kabir Takedown is just going to take down like one of my creatures anyways. So maybe I can try to double block, force him to use it, and then kick it into the Royal. Maybe that's just better. The Inscription can maybe draw me some cards. But the Kabir Outrider falling prey to the takedown is not very good, so I think I'm going to pass here and save the kick into the Royal. Yeah, I'll double block and force the takedown. If not, I might just bounce something back. We'll see. Please just use it. Please use your Kabir Takedown. Please use it. Well, that's annoying too. So do I bounce this back, or do I bounce the? Yeah, I guess I bounce. I guess I bounce the Ardent Electromancer back. Just to set him back a bit. And then I guess he doesn't have the mana to cast it again, so he'll have to play this tapped or just pass the turn, which I'm totally fine with as well. Alright, that's nice. Forcing him to play it. Okay, so now what I can do is I can play the Kabir Outrider, and then attack in the air, and then use a Duelist to maybe prevent 2 from happening. Ooh, even milled a Shatter Skull Charger. That was pretty nice. That would have been an amazing top deck for him. I guess I'm planning to maybe save the Zulaport Duelist for the 3-2 in case it manages so he doesn't get a good attack in. I can also just Inscription to bounce both creatures back, but his life total is pretty high right now, so probably fine playing land, play the Nahiri's Binding on the Pair Tactician, use the Zulaport Duelist. I think I'll attack for 1, and then I'll use the Zulaport Duelist to maybe ambush the 3-2. That's a nice mill too. And then get a good trade on it. Seagate Colossus, that's pretty powerful. So probably need to find a way to tempo him out. Not 8 in the graveyard yet, so no value yet with the creatures. So maybe I'm forced to bounce 2 things and go for some sort of attack. Or draw some cards at least. Maybe I need to draw cards. Like, I do want to kick an Inscription, but I can't really afford to at this point, so... Now I could return a Seagate Colossus because it's pretty expensive, and the Stonework Pack Beast to set him back a bit. BC's going to keep smashing here, so it's going to be really annoying, so probably bounce these 2 cards back. And then I can go for an Alpha Strike, and then maybe cycle away the Merfolk Wind Robber once there's 8 in his graveyard, and go from there. Because this is just too big, I imagine, so... I mean, I can sacrifice this anytime, so I don't really mind. Ambusher, that's pretty scary, so I probably need to block that. And we just got nothing but lands, so I guess I'll sack this and try to find something. Okay, that can be pretty decent. So I'm fine attacking for 3 and then using the 1/3 back to trade. Could use a Spoils of Adventure here. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have a couple in the deck still. I could have also chump sacked it to prevent some damage from happening. But this is a weird matchup where I'm actually not getting my spoils. And this is how I lose. So, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Also milled some good cards, Shower Skull Minotaur, Nahiri's Binding. But he probably has some removal anyways, and now way to leverage flying, so I'm probably not going to beat him unless I completely alpha him, of course. So probably need to Alpha Strike next turn to go for lethal or something. Or top deck of Spoils. May need to top deck of Spoils of Adventure. Which we didn't, so yeah, GG's. Just took too much damage this match. And couldn't find my spoils. That's really sad. Even if I drew with the, I guess if I drew with the inscription, I might have a chance to grab my spoils, but the 7/5 will be beating down on me, which is not very good, so... Yeah, that was just a really unfortunate match, but it's what happens. Sometimes you don't get lucky, and you know, you just lose, so... It can happen, you can end up flooding. And never draw one of your card draw spells. I was also pretty lucky too, milling some good cards off his top with the Merfolk Wind Robber. Okay, opening hand, just need blue mana. This is a little bit risky keep too. We don't have any creatures, but we do have some lands. I might regret it. This might just cost me. Especially with a turn 1 play if he has one, but I can't imagine any turn 1 black spells. Alright, I'll just play this tapped. I'm gonna stop messing around. I like the sound effects. So blue-black mill, so yeah, this could be kind of a weakness, although, right, just a relic amulet for now. Probably don't need to show my secondary color yet, keep it into the royal. Maybe the into royal can eventually just bounce the relic amulets. Alright, could be holding up a counter spell. Alright, nothing here, so we'll just pass the turn again. Could see a flash creature end of turn, maybe a Mnemonic Sky Dancer, yep. And hopefully he doesn't mill anything good off the top. Alright, those are party members that I could have used, so... Alright, hopefully we don't get milled to death by a crab. This is going to be a pretty sad Emiria Captain if I even cast it. I guess I could just make a large creature with the inscription. But that's a creature I definitely need to deal with, so... Alright, maybe I just into the roll this. Hopefully he doesn't counter it. Could just counter this, that would be pretty sad. Okay, no counter. So maybe I need to set up a way to take out this Infiltrator before he just draws a million cards off of it. Kabira Outrider, okay, okay. I could kick the inscription to make a large creature. I can, I guess I can't kick it. I guess I can use it just to bounce 2 creatures back to send them off tempo. But I feel like I could just play out the Shepherd Heroes and make him draw a card. Next turn we can maybe step a Kabira's Takedown. Hopefully no removal, but he's just going to draw cards here and it's going to be pretty bad. Okay, Glacial Grasp, sure. So he's just going to outvalue me by drawing cards off of this, so I need to kill it. Maybe I can play 2 cheap creatures and Kabira Takedown, that would be great. Although Nahiri's Binding would be fine too. Yeah, gotta do it here. Hopefully no counter spell. I can dodge an Anti-Cognition at least, so... Alright. And we can stabilize this way. And hopefully he doesn't mill us to death. Could see Into the Royal bouncing his Surefoot Infiltrator back. And then it's going to be hard for me to use a Kabira Takedown on it. But he might just try to get value by kicking the Into the Royal. Still have a lot of lands left in the deck. So I'm hoping I can just kill the opponent quick enough before he mills me to oblivion. I mean, honestly, I don't think his deck is trying to mill. From the looks of it, it seems like he's more of like an aggressive blue-black version. Okay, so he's going to do that just to gain some counters. Seems to make sense, and then use it on the Expedition Healer. Alright. Wow, that's really nice. Although, we're not going to gain life unless we spoils next turn. So I don't mind just the Emiria Captain here, and then we'll just attack for 3. Just putting out evasive threats while I can. So you go. And if we top deck a land, maybe we can play a creature and kill the Surefooted Infiltrator before it becomes a nuisance. Maybe see a Domination, that's gross. I guess I can now bounce my Shepherd, which I don't mind. I guess I can also bounce the 2-1 as well, so it's not that bad now that I think about it. So yeah, let's just do that. And then what do we play? I guess I can Kabira Takedown and just, what's this? Choose 1, return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Yeah, I don't mind just bouncing the Mnemonic Sky Dancer. I know he can I mean, actually maybe I can set up something later. I can get greedy here and set up something later, that's for sure, so... And I can still take 3. Use the Kabira's Takedown. Alright, we'll try something greedier. And I can bounce back my own Shepherd next turn. Yeah, I'll just take down this 2-1. It's really annoying. Before he has some sort of counterspell or anti-magic bullshit coming in. Because it would be nice to pretty much kick an inscription. So, we'll see if that's possible. I'm hoping he taps out here. Well, of course he has mana open, so do I just adventure here, draw a bunch of cards, and just Cliffhaven Kitestale, or do I just use the inscription? I think I use the inscription here. Could have the Shell Shield, which is annoying. We'll see. I'm hoping this just resolves. Please just resolve. You could have a Shell Shield here. Yeah, I think he's deciding which one to give protection to. Okay, that's fine. I guess he realizes I can just make a bunch of 1/1s. Skulker, so that's going to gain Death Touch and Evasion as well. So I could just Spoils for 5, which isn't that great, or just play out the Shepherd. Maybe just playing out the Shepherds is fine. So I can gain 4 and stay alive, and then guess I don't mind just trading here. Yeah, I'll just trade. Since he needs another rogue to tap, basically, to give this evasion, I still have 2 blockers up, so he needs to play another rogue next turn to make this unblockable and gain an attack and then draw some cards, so... 9 Carver, okay. I mean, I guess I don't mind a trade. I mean, he could just be really annoying here and have like some sort of instant to keep up, which is dumb. But yeah, I don't mind just double blocking this, to be honest. I guess he can kill my flying army if he does. He can just use Relic Amulet on the final flyer, and then I'll be in trouble. So maybe I just need to allow this to resolve, and then I can Kabira Outrider, maybe go for the lethal. Yeah, no blocks. Definitely no blocks here. I hate how I'm giving him value here, but honestly think I can't allow him to Seafloor Stalker, okay. Maybe that's it. I guess I can still Outrider and Spoil, so I'll just do that. And let's see if he has something here. Zeref. I mean, both of these creatures have flying, so yeah, good game. Alright, he had a pretty powerful blue-black deck, but yep. Seems like double Spoils of Adventures is pretty insane, so... 5 and 1, let's keep this up. Haven't seen our Archpriest get full party yet, so I'm hoping that opportunity will arrive soon. But yeah, blue-white party can definitely be incredibly powerful. Could have had double spoils and a double Journey to Oblivion in this type of deck, since there was 3 spoils of adventures during the draft, and I took the second spoils over the second Journey to Oblivion, and then throughout the final packs a third one was revealed. But I think it was a much more of a priority to have 2 spoils of adventures, so you can draw them consistently and gain lots more value by cycling through your deck with the card draw spells. And our removal was still decent already, so it's better to have a 3-for-1 than a 1-for-1. So that's the argument for taking these spoils. Alright, a bronze opponent. What's going on? Watsy, please fix your matchmaking system. I should not be playing against a bronze opponent at this rank. Okay, Seagate Banneret, get a land, Farsight Adept. We can maybe make a 4-4 Merit Captain. Is it 4-4? No, it's still 3-3 because this is still Warrior, but I think I'll keep this. His own Bayin Veil, sure. Blue-black, okay, so the Rogue deck again. At least there's no Crab on turn 1. And I'll play this tapped. And then next turn, maybe the Farsight Adept can help me hit my land drop for the turn 4 Emiria Captain. Could see a Zulaport Duelist. Probably he's holding priority of one. I'm presuming he has one because that's a really popular card in the blue-black mill control decks. He could flash in like a Soaring Thought Thief next turn as well, so probably not going to attack with a 1-2. I mean, I could attack, and either way, it's not going to... I guess you can flash in a Soaring Thought Thief and the 1-drop, so may just play the Farsight Adept and just pass. Like, you can definitely flash in both creatures and ambush the 1-2, so probably fine staying back here and not do anything. Just say go. Could see a Namana Sky Dancer flash in as well. Lots of weird flash creatures, so he had it. Alright, he had it all along. At least it's gone now. I don't have to worry too much. Can Journey to Oblivion maybe some sort of card like Rooster Drakes? Yeah, I'm going to journey that way. It definitely has to go. Yeah, that card definitely has to go, so let's not waste any more time. I'm fine attacking my 3-3. He can double block, that's fine. I'll go for the trades. And then we'll play the Archpriest. And then maybe we can get a full party once we get a Rogue. And we're kind of close. So yeah, Journey answering the Roost is quite nice. The Roost is essentially just a 4-mana, make a 2-2 flyer at this point. So don't have to feel too bad that he generated value off of it. And we can also just bounce a token in the Inscription eventually. Definitely don't feel like bouncing the Duelist because he's going to gain value off of it, so probably just going to start attacking the 3-3 and just play out the Emiria Captain and go from there. If I top deck a land, I'm probably just going to play land as Shepherd, or I can just play Emiria Captain and keep land in case he Mind Rots me. Lots of options. Sure-footed Infiltrator, that's a good one. Probably need to Binding that. Yeah, probably need to bind that. I can also just bounce it back and then just attack with the ground armies too. Or just play the Shepherd. Maybe the binding is fine and I can attack for 3 again. Because this is just going to gain him a lot of card advantage. Or I can just bounce and attack. Maybe bounce and attack is correct. Yeah, let's do that instead. This sets him back a lot. And I can go for a full attack, and I'll keep the land hand in case he has a Mind Rot. And yeah, we can get him for a huge attack here. And then force him to stay on defense. If he just taps out for the Infiltrator, I can just Binding and go for an attack again. And then he'll be forced to chump. Squid, okay. That can hold off my 3-2. Relic Golem, I can maybe eventually just Binding on that. But here, okay, not bad. So I could Rogue into Emiria Captain. So yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind just attacking with both and then using the Rogue into Emiria Captain. That seems really nice. Hopefully he only blocks with one. Also, you can't block with this, so I'm hoping he just blocks with one, so then I can eventually get a full party into Emiria Captain. So, yeah, we might this might be the game where we see a full party Archpriest. I'm hoping he only blocks with one, so now we can ambush this, get a free kill, and we have a full party going. So, yeah, that should be really nice. And then, yeah, a 5/5 Emiria Captain as our reward. So I think this game is just over with. The Archpriest can also give a creature +1/+1 in flying next turn. Please don't concede. I just want to see the ability. Just once, please. Pretty please. Rooster Drakes again. Okay. So he has 2 of them. We can just lock one of the Drakes down. No, no. I want to see the ability. I could have done this main phase just to give a creature flying. But I thought it was much more better to just attack and use it as a combat trick. But yeah, maybe I should have just done that just to see the animation. But yeah, anyways, final boss. We should be able to get to 7 with this deck quite easily. Even with a deck that has double Rooster Drakes, we managed to steal this one. So it goes to show you how powerful the party decks can be, either black, red, or blue, white, which are obviously the best 2-color pairs for the party decks. Like, you can still be versatile, of course. You can go be black, white clerics plus party, red, white warriors with party, green, red landfall with party, green, even green, blue kicker with party. But really, those are the 2 color pairs that maximize the party synergies the most highest. Mostly blue, white, and black, red. So keep that in mind when you guys are drafting this set. Alright, we have the Archpriest on 1, never bad. Although these are 2 clerics, it's still 1-drop, 2-drop, and if we top deck some other party members eventually, we can get our full party pieces going, and then we can just overrun the opponent. So maybe this is another game where we can get full party, we'll see. I'd be happy with like a Pack Beast and then like a Course Wizard to enable this, but pull mulligans too, okay, good sign. Ooh, I could surprise him with the Seagate Banneret, although this will attack in for 2 next turn if I play this on 1, so probably not going to mess around too much. Actually, still going to be a 1-powered creature, never mind, because I'm planning on maybe playing the Expedition Healer just to be mana efficient. Yeah, just attacking for 1. There could be a Soaring Thought Thief, so I could consider... Soaring Thought Thief isn't a big issue. So he doesn't have one, otherwise he would flash in and blocked. So another blue-black Rogues deck, and he's missing his land drops, so we can take advantage of that. So now we're going to play a Seagate Banneret to pump up the Archpriest. And I don't really... I guess there's Blink of an Eye here, but who cares? He didn't have a Soaring Thought Thief last turn to hold off my creatures, so this is fine. Could have played this first again, and then played this second. And whatever he bounces, we're just going to replay, so it's not that bad. Then we can get like a 3/3 Emiria Captain next turn, which can be quite nice. Probably has a Blink of an Eye, I feel like, but it doesn't really matter what he bounces because it's just to prevent damage at this point. So yeah, this is what you get from missing your land drops in Magic. Just an opponent with 1 or 2 drops just completely devastate you. So There could be a Shadow's Verdict on turn 4 that can punish us. Guess I'll just attack first and see what's up. I could also just play the Warrior first, but I feel like if he has some sort of bounce spell, I can play around a counter spell here, so that seems fine. So yeah, this is how you play around a counter spell. You attack first, so now he won't be able to anti-cognition my Myriad Captain. Sure, I might miss out. Actually, yeah, because I thought this was going to give him the extra power, but this is fine. And then I could just attack with all next turn and even pump the team with a land, so... Wow, even Lethal Form Blight just to hit a land drop. I guess he's splashing for a bomb or something. Alright, I guess he doesn't have any good attacks. Ooh, what's his full party? Cleric, Warrior, no Wizards yet. I feel like I can just attack and maybe just pump the team at this point. So yeah, let's just do that instead. Let's just pump the team. And we can do the whole Merfolk Wind Robber next turn, but I'm pretty sure we won this. I mean, he's at 5. He's facing against a 3/3 flyer, a 2/2, and a bunch of creatures on the battlefield. So yeah, that was a pretty uneventful final boss, but sweet, we managed to get there, 7-1. And this is kind of like the point in the time of the season where it doesn't matter how many games you win, but you're just gonna stay at a low mythic ranking. I think so. Our record, I guess, was hitting the rank 18 with this season, but with a lot of people drafting now, we're going to be stuck at 179. So yeah, let's just do a quick overview of this draft and then crack some packs. Managed to get 7-1, so could have been a 7-0 if we got lucky in one of our games, but you know, can't always be lucky. So essentially, we picked up, there's 3 Spoils of Adventures in this draft, but we picked up 2 of them. We could have also had double Journey to Oblivion, which I think should have been better, but I'm not psychic. I couldn't have predicted the 3rd Spoils of Adventure still in the pack. So, yep, in terms of interaction, we do have a decent amount. Into the Royal, Kabira Takedown, Double Nahiri's Binding, Inscription of Insight, and Journey to Oblivion. So this is around like 6 removal spells in terms of card draw. We do have double Spoils of Adventure, which is excellent for this deck. And to a lesser extent, we also have the Bayin Veil and the Zulaport Duelist as our combat tricks. The land count is essentially 17 plus the it's not 17, essentially 16 plus the Bayin Veil. The only reason why I'm going 16 lands is because we do have some nice discounts. We do have a lot of card draw with the double Farsa Adepts on turn 3. We can easily discount our Spoils of Adventure for pretty cheap to get our land drops. And also Kabira Takedown could also function as a land, but mostly keeping as a spell. And our curve is also really low with multiple 1-drops and 2-drops that I can easily play early. That I don't mind running 16 lands like this, and Spoils is mostly like a 3 or 4 drop anyways. So looking at the curve, like we don't really have too much top end besides 2 5-drops and 3 4-drops. So that's the reason why we're going 16 lands. Cards we could have considered. We could have considered a Seagate Colossus, but I didn't think it was necessary since we have a lot of flying creatures in the deck already. And even though this is a decent creature that we can play for cheap, it just doesn't have trample, so you can get chump blocked all day on the ground. But rather it's better to just have a card like a Mirror Captain, Double Shepherd of Heroes, and as our evasive win conditions regardless, so I didn't really see the need for the Seagate Colossus. Didn't main deck Saloon Division because we just don't have too much instants and sorceries in the deck. Even if we, sometimes I imagine even casting this as a spell, I mean, I guess we could have used it to find Spoils of Adventure, so should have maybe considered it, but with so many creatures, I felt like it wasn't necessary. Like sometimes having too many tapped lands can punish your deck. And either way, we didn't have too many instances and sorceries anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess 6 we could have found. Yeah, it could be a decent upgrade, but still, there's moments where you can end up casting this early on, and then you just miss out on an instance or sorcery, and then you have to bottom all the other playables, and this can have some drawbacks. Could have main deck a Glacial Grasp too, just as a fine temple play as well, but it felt like one of our weaker removal spells that we didn't need, and I'd rather just keep all my creatures to enable party, and then And then, yeah, we also had like double spoils anyways to help ourselves stabilize, and we had enough removal, I think, in this deck that I didn't see myself needing. The Glacial Grasp, also not a landfall deck, so didn't need a Tazeen Raptor or the Prowling Feldar. Also, although Tazeen Raptor is a pretty decent flexible card that can bounce back our mono dual face lands, we don't have a lot, and honestly just zero synergy with it. Could have played triple Farside that, but I felt like it was better off to just have the Core Celebrant on turn 3 to synergize with the Attendant Healer and serve as a good ground blocker and stabilizer in the deck. And we already had double Farsight Adept, so I didn't really need to pile on too many. I mean, same argument with the Cliffhaven Sellsword. Could have had another one, but it felt like we have enough 1-drops already. If we move the 1-drops here, they're kind of just like 2-drops anyways, so it's better off not to even have it. And then look at the party members. Yeah, didn't really need another extra wizard, even though wizards and rogues are kind of the least few we have, and clerics and warriors are the most. I could have considered maybe cutting a cleric for an extra far side depth, but which one would I cut? The Attendant Healer is just too powerful. Core Celebrant is just really powerful. Stonework Pack Beast is flexible. Expedition Healer is a 2-drop we need. The Archpriest is just already amazing itself. So yeah, I didn't see myself needing the third Farside deck, but we managed to get there. The deck was just incredibly broken, incredibly busted with like double spoils of Adventure in the deck, plus the Inscription of Insight. Even though you don't kick it, it's still like a 4-mana bounce 2, which is insane. We even managed to negate a Low Mage's Domination by bouncing back our Shepherd of Heroes back into our hand once he stole it. So yeah, this card is incredibly powerful. And then yeah, nice 7-in-1 deck. Let me move these 2-drops over. Just need to take a quick selfie of the deck. One moment. Yep, just take a quick snapshot, hit the done button, and then yeah, let's claim our prize. I think I took a picture of this dumb thing already too. Let's see. Yep, let's add it again just in case I forget to add it. Of course. One moment. Alright, Len, let's claim our prize, crack some packs. Pretend we're drafting Zendikar Rising again. Pack 1, pick 1, Zendikar Rising. What do we have the fine pleasure of opening today? Finally, we got some gems, because we got all the rares and mythics. Fetus Swarm versus Into Royal. Still probably take Into Royal over Fetus Swarm. I think Fetus Swarm is like the 3rd best black common in this set, so it's not like a high pick. The only problem is that you just lose life with this, and that can be a huge drawback. If you're in a black-white life gain deck already, the Fetus Swarm would be perfect, since losing the life isn't too bad. But generally speaking, it can be a bit of a drawback, but it's still a great card. You can still kill creatures with it, you can still destroy enchantments. But overall, I think just the Into the Royal is just better, because it's instant speed, it doesn't negate any life loss, blue's a strong color in this set, and you have the ability to kick this to generate value off of this, so still probably take Into the Royal over Feed, but if I was already in black, obviously Feed over Into the Royal. Core Blade Master, pretty decent card too. If you're in a red-white warriors deck with lots of equipments, can be fine, but overall still not so powerful that I'm willing to abandon my flexibility to take it. So Into Royal seems good. Marasa Sprouting versus Carrion War Leader versus Bubble Snare, all really good cards. Yeah, this is hard. I mean, I just think the uncommons are a lot better than the single target removal spell, because this is my argument. Not only are the uncommons a little bit more difficult to get than the commons, but generally speaking, even if you don't take the removal spell and you don't stay open, you can eventually just find removal spells at common in your respective archetype. If the archetype is open enough. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably still take the Sprouting here over the Carrion War Leader, since it's single color. Of course, the kicker deck is blue-green, so this is going to be at its best in the blue-green deck. But the fact that it's single color can be pretty nice in any sort of green deck with some kicker spells. Definitely worse in white-green, since white-green doesn't care about too much kicker potential, but this being able to get back like a Rural Eruption or like a Blood Beckoning or like Blood Chief's Thirst can be quite nice. So you probably still take the Sprouling over Kargan War Leader since it's just a powerful 2-for-1, and yeah, it just keeps us in single color. But you can definitely, this card can definitely have some great moments with Blood Beckoning, where you kick the Blood Beckoning, get back Murasa Sprouling and a creature, kick the Murasa Sprouling, get back your Blood Beckon, constantly have this as a infinite chump blocker or creature to remove, and then loop it back over and over again. So this has some unique combos. So probably take the Sprouling since that seems to have the higher upside than Bubble Snare. But maybe I would lean towards Kargan War Leader over Bubble Snare. I don't know. It's kind of close. This is just a powerful card in the Red-White Warriors deck, but it does need to be open. But it is a risk. But I don't know. It's hard to imagine. But I'll probably still take Sprouling over the rest of these. Acquisitions Expert is excellent, but only in the party archetype. The Rockslide Sorcerer is excellent, only in the blue-red spells deck. And it's kind of like the same argument, do I still take the Bubble Snare over both of these two cards, since they require an archetype to settle in. The Acquisitions Expert I can definitely see not taking over the Bubble Snare, since it's kind of situational at times. It's going to be best in some sort of party deck. It's not going to be at best in every rogue deck. Usually in blue-black rogues, you rather just have rogues that mill over a rogue that gets a card out of their opponent's hand. It's pretty good in a party deck because you can look at you can look at a large amount of cards in the late game and then make them discard their best card. And you still have a 1/2 that can enable party as well. However, this card is just not a really good efficient blocker or attacker, whereas a Rockslide Sorcerer, even though it's not very flexible, still has a lot of higher upside over the Bubble Snare if you do manage to make the Red-Blue Wizards deck open. Just being able to punish 1 or 2 toughness constantly over and over can be game-changing. So I would probably still take the Rockslide Sorcerer over Bubble Snare, but between Bubble Snare and Acquisitions Expert, I would still probably take the Bubble Snare. But yeah, this is a decent payoff for the party deck. This is a good payoff for the Blue-Red Wizards deck, but it just seems to have a lot more upside than a single target removal spell. Probably still take the Umara Wizard over Umara Mystic in this pack, with some good landfall creatures, Territorial Scythe Cat and Prowling Feldar, but of course they commit you to an archetype. Umara Wizard, of course, when you look at this card, you're like, of course I'm going to play this in this. Of course this fits best in the Blue-Red Spells deck, but I mean, it still flies whenever an instance or sorcerer is being cast, so you can still play this in like a decent like blue-black deck even, or blue-green or blue-white, depending on how many sorceries, and just this being a nice flexible land is quite decent by itself already, and it doesn't have to commit you to the Blue-Red Wizards deck, so I do like the Umara Wizard a lot. I think it's a good card. Yeah, just an easy journey. This card's excellent. Between this and Pack 1 Pick 1 Deadly Alliance, I would still probably take Deadly Alliance over Journey, since Journey is a sorcery speed removal spell. I know it does have the flexibility of exiling a non-land permanent, but the fact that it's sorcery speed, the fact that white also doesn't have super amazing removal spells at common. I mean, there's the Nahiri's Binding, of course, but it's definitely a lot more difficult to cast than all the other common removal spells. The best common removal spells at common, so it's probably the worst of the best of them. I mean, this card is still great, and I would definitely take this over Nahiri's Binding, but I think I would still prefer Deadly Alliance, since Deadly Alliance is at common, it's easier to get, and it also gets a reduction from party. It's also instant speed, and I think black is the better color than white in this set, since there's just a lot of recursion going on, whereas white, pretty solid color too, but Nahiri's Binding has kind of been underperformer because there's just so many ways to interact with Nahiri's Binding in this set that it's not that great. Also keep in mind, Journey to Oblivion is also an enchantment, so it dies to Feed the Swarm as well, so it's better to just have, Deadly Alliance at instant speed killing something, since Journey to Oblivion is mostly likely going to target a creature anyways. But still a strong card, still very excellent. There was a matchup in this draft where I used this on a Russo Drakes, and I don't regret it. So yeah, Journey's the best card in that pack. Probably take a Roll Eruption here. Rabbit Bite is also excellent, of course, as the best Greek common, but it does require some setup to get going, and you do need a creature with high power to enable this. That being said, Roll Eruption is just great by itself, doesn't require too much setup, can pretty much kill most creatures in the set, but not anything with 4 toughness, of course. But of course, you can always just attack and then use a Roll Eruption to finish something off, and it has the flexibility of being kicked in the late game to deal 5 damage. It can also go into the face, which can be quite nice. Alternatively, there's a Relic Golem for the blue-black mill deck, which can be a nice payoff, and enabler for blue-black mill. But generally speaking, you want to have more enablers at common. I mean, more enablers than the Relic Golem, so you can already get this to attack or block right away. But otherwise, it's just 3 mana do nothing, which can be kind of silly. The Kitesail Cleric is going to be at best in some sort of white-blue party deck, or some deck that's trying to enable party, of course. Usually, I don't really like this in black-white life gain, since this is really a card for like an aggressive beatdown deck, as opposed to a life gain deck, which is trying to grind the opponent out with and outvalue them with removal spells and recursion. And life gain, this card is most likely just utilized to fill a turn 1 cleric, which, you know, is pretty solid, and then you can kick this later to tap 2 creatures down to get in a huge attack. So I guess this is best in some sort of white-red party deck with Shower Skull Minotaurs and practice tactics and whatnot, but it's not going to be at its best in white-black, I imagine. It could have been pretty decent in our deck too, but we already had a lot of clerics anyways, but we didn't have a lot. This would be a pretty good card in our blue-white party deck for this draft, but easy roll eruption. So there you guys go. Here's our 7-win video. Maybe draft one more Zendikar Rising before I head over to Ikoria and just force cycling all day and draft some boring cycling decks, but we'll see. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Take care. And yeah,